My name is Ray Haltman. I was an engineer.
My name is Tammy. I was 23 years old and had 2 young kids.
My name's Melissa Herrard. I was working with special need kids.
My name's Joseph Costello. I was going to school.
My name is Paulina. I was working as a waitress and was having a good time, I guess.
I got the summons in the mail. You know, it was my first summons ever. And, you know, you don't know what case it's for. And when I got to Santa Maria Courthouse, it was the longest line I've ever seen.
When I realized it was the Michael Jackson trial, it kind of took my breath away.
Everybody knows the songs.
I actually had such a little crush on him when I was growing up. Every time he sang, I thought he would be singing to me.
I don't think I've ever met anybody that didn't enjoy his music.
I wasn't a fan of Michael Jackson. I only superficially heard about the trial that was coming up. I'd probably had 2 or 3 other experiences with being called to jury duty and then not being selected. And my conclusion was the defense did not want a white, educated conservative on their jury. Of course, as it turned out, that didn't happen.
At 11:23 this morning, the judge swore in the first 12 jurors.
The prosecution team were the ones that chose me because one of the questions that they asked was that you've been involved with a molestation. And I had to tell them it was this person in my family that was molested. That was real hard for me to do.
This would be the first of many difficult moments for Melissa. Since jurors' names are kept confidential, the press nicknamed her the Fat Juror.
Within 18 months after the trial, I went ahead and had gastric bypass surgery and lost all the weight because I didn't want to be known as the Fat Juror anymore. It hurt me too much.
In addition to Melissa, the jury was comprised of 7 females and 4 males. 7 of the jurors were white, 4 were Hispanic, and 1 was Asian. The only African American was an alternate.
When I realized that that's all I was going to be, I was a little bummed out because I was the only African American. Technically, he still didn't have a juror of his peers on that panel.
I was defending a prominent African-American celebrity, but Michael Jackson was very different. Rather than divide races, he brought races together. So I accepted a panel without any African-American jurors, and I told Michael Jackson that I felt we had 12 people who were going to be very, very fair and good for us.
Despite the worldwide attention, the jury was not sequestered, but they were given strict orders to avoid all news about Jackson.
No, we weren't sequestered, but I always tell people that we were semi-sequestered.
When they would come on and start to say, oh, next will be the update on Michael Jackson, my daughter would go, Mom, it's coming on, and I'd have to plug my ears, close my eyes, and then she'd come and tap me and tell me, okay, it's over.
You had to really change your everyday habits. You didn't wake up in the morning and have your newspaper with your cup of coffee.
That was our challenge, to only base our decisions on what happened in the courtroom.
The first witness to testify for the prosecution was the man responsible for the Jackson documentary, filmmaker Martin Bashir.
It was because of Martin Bashir's documentary that Tom Sneddon went forward with this trial. He was the first witness. His documentary was the thing that we saw.
Abu, Abu, Abu. I love my children very much. My children sleep with other people all the time.
And you're happy with that?
Fine with it.
It seemed to me that Martin Bashir was trying to paint Michael Jackson as this weird individual that had this propensity to sleep with young boys.
When you actually invite children into your bed, you never know what's going to happen.
But when you say bed, you're thinking sexual. They make that sexual. It's not sexual.
As far as the documentary, he focused a lot on Gavin Arvizo, you know, the holding hands.
The jury watched an unedited version of Bashir's documentary. But we can't show you that because the film has since been modified and images of Jackson holding hands with his accuser have been removed.
They created an ugly picture of Michael Jackson. They don't want to take responsibility for that. So what do? They cut the footage so that no one can point a finger back at them.
The prosecution argued that those moments indicated a criminal relationship.
I felt like if Bashir wanted to portray him as a villain, he succeeded.
I was shocked and also disgusted. Being a mom, it placed more of an emotional feeling in me.
Tom Sneddon was relying on the documentary to be the cornerstone of his case, but Jackson's defense was ready to go after the man behind it.
Tom Mesereau was able to reveal that Martin Bashir had been brought up on